Hello, good afternoon. I'm Casey Christensen, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in West Kelowna, BC, Canada, where it is absolutely gorgeous. I was out there in my t-shirt with my shoes off, sitting out in the sun on musical hold for an hour and a half with the Government of Canada. You would think if they're going to do musical hold, they could come up with more than one song. That would have been really, really nice. But no, just one song, over and over and over and over and over again. The good news is I got through to them. I didn't get my T4, so I was a little concerned about that. And I know I had done a change of address when we moved from Coquitlam to here, but as it turns out, if you call the CRA and change your address, it only gets changed at the CRA. So if there's any pension, any unemployment insurance, anything else involved, you have to call each department. And I didn't know that. I thought I could just call the CRA and it would be like a blanket address change. But no, that's not what it is at all. So you can see I've got a fun bunch of stuff out here today. We're going to use some great colors. We're going to use some embossing folders, some stamps and dies. I've got the Timeless Tulips out here right now. Timeless Tulips is not carrying over into the new catalog, but it is one of my all-time favorites, so I'll probably hang on to it anyway. And you can check the last chance sale. I don't remember. I was looking at it. I don't remember. Hi, Kimmy. I don't remember if it was in the last chance, but if it is, it's a great one to grab. And then there's the dies with it. Well, not with it too, the punch, right? So you can get the punch. The punch stayed current, oddly enough, and the stamps did not. So I might have to double check that. It seems odd to me that one would stay current and one would not, but that's okay. And then we're going to use the stitch rectangles. So I'm working on a card today that I'm actually casing. And what casing means, C-A-S-E, in Stampin' Up! World or card world, what casing means is copy and selectively edit. Or some people think it means copy and share everywhere. Either way, it's somebody else's idea, but I love it. So we're going to play with that today, and I'm going to selectively edit. So let's get started. We're going to start, your computer's fine now though, Kim, right? We're going to start with our cutting. So this is gorgeous grape paper, one of my all-time favorite colors. This is still current. It's not one of the in colors, so we'll have this forever. I'm going to cut this at 5.5. Your typical card size, so that's 5.5 by 8.5. I'm going to score at 4.25. So that's my basic card, and of course we're going to decorate inside, because I always like to decorate inside if we're going to have a colored card. So we'll get to that in a minute. So, and then I need another little piece of this. I need 1.25 by 2 3/4. So I'm just going to give this a 2 3/4 cut first. And this is for the sentiment. So I'm just getting all the cutting out of the way first. How do you open? Oh, just grab it right down here, Kim. Grab it right down here and open. It just slides open. And just be a little bit gingerly with it, because there is a little piece in there that you're going to see that you can easily break. Mine's broken, but it doesn't mean a thing throughout the whole process of using it. The cut is the dark gray, and the score is the light gray. So if I'm going to be doing a lot of scoring, I have a tendency to want to, like if I'm going to be scoring a whole bunch of things, I have a tendency to want to put a piece of tape over the cutter, or it's also extremely easy to just take it out of there so that you won't accidentally cut things that you're meaning to score, okay? Very easy to get it in and out of there. Sometimes it pops out all by itself, so it's very easy to get it back in. So let's cut this piece 1.25. And this, we're just going to set this aside. This has to do with the sentiment that we're going to use. So there's our two gorgeous grape pieces. That's all we need for gorgeous grape. So the basic white, which is going to be, we're doing an Easter bouquet. So where the flowers are going to sit is this piece here. So 2 3/4 by 5.5. So I'll cut my 5.5 first. It's going to be the same height as the card. 2 3/4. So that's that piece right there. And we're going to emboss that piece with the mini embosser, and I think I'll use my stripes and splatters. Haven't decided which one I'll use, but we'll decide that later. And then we just need scraps and things for a 1 1/4 by 3 for our sentiment. So 1 1/4 by 3, and this might bite me in the butt cutting my sentiment ahead of time, because sometimes it's hard to get your sentiment stamp perfect, but we'll do it her way and see. I'm reading it off of a Pinterest information line here. So what did I say? 1 1/4 by 3 inches. And then we'll just set all of this aside. And now we're going to use our scrap bits, because we're going to do some stamping. And I want to use the Stamparatus. So we're going to make tulips and leaves and stems. Now today, for this particular card, we're only using the big tulip. But we can do all the leaves, because we can do them all at one time, right? Which is very cool. We'll fussy cut some, and you know what? If we just stick to this one leaf, then we can use yeah, let's do that. Let's stick to the one leaf, and then we can use the punch for all of it. And then I love, love, love this sentiment. It says, Happy Easter, happy spring, happy, happy everything. So we're going to use that one. So I just think it's gorgeous. And we've got Granny Apple Green ink, Gorgeous Grape, Fresh Freesia doesn't belong there, So Saffron, and Blushing Bride. And those are our tulip colors. These 3 are our tulip colors. And then I've got some vellum I think I'd like to try. It's kind of a dainty print. I don't know if you can see it. This one is like a newspaper printing. And then there's this one that's the same as this one, but this one is with black writing, and this one is with white writing, and I kind of like this white one. It also comes in like roadmap kind of deal in both black and white. So it's interesting, right? This is the new vellum. I haven't looked to see if it carries over. I hope it does, because I like it. But let's just see what happens. All right, so let's get out the Stamparatus. And I'm just going to grab myself some, let's get our picture now so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to do 2 big tulips of each color. So, oh, I already got them out, didn't I? Yes, I did, because I'm that clever. Okay, here we are, 2 big tulips of each color. So let's get these little guys here, because they're kind of easier to work with. Okay, so make sure everything's sat nicely in your Stamparatus, of course. I'm going to pop. Now you'll notice that this is stained, okay? And this is not unusual. Any of your stamps, especially the photopolymer, once you've used a blue, because blue has a little bit of red coloring in it, or reds or oranges, they stain. There's not a darn thing you can do about it. It has no effect whatsoever on the stamp. And so it's just how it works, right? Because it's photopolymer, and it does give it a little bit of a stain. So we're going to do 2 of each one. So let's start with Blushing Bride. And Kim, this is where I was saying about, this is where I was saying about having those little ink spots that you get when you have the paper pumpkins. Now I'm going to use this big thing here to put ink on this little stamp here. But if you had ink spots, it's easier, you know, because it's so small, right? That way you're not getting any ink on your Stamparatus like I'm getting right now. All right, so let's drop this down. Let's use my, I found out what the name of this is, Stampendable. This is called a Stampendable, and you can get it at Amazon, and I'm only allowed to say that because you can't get it at Stampin' Up. So there we go. I think that's dark enough. I do. I think that's dark enough. So let's, and we'll do another one. It's not as pink as I'd like it, but that's okay. That's what she used. So we're going to stick with what she used, because her card is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, 2 pink ones. Now I'm going to leave the pink on because you don't have to take it off. If the colors mix, that's fine with me. I don't mind that at all, especially when it's light to dark. If it was dark to light, I might not do that. But when it's light to dark, so I need 2 out of Gorgeous Grape. Or do I need 3? No, 2 is, well, I might need more out of the Gorgeous Grape. Let's just see how we go. Oh, it's so pretty, right? I think there are extra, let's see, I'm counting here. Oh, you know what, that lavender is in there. Okay, just me. Okay, the lavender is in there. So we are doing 4 colors of flowers. Gosh, I love this Gorgeous Grape. All right, 2 of those. Now I'll do the fresh freesia. Can you hear me okay, Kim? Because I never even thought to look at my volume on my phone. It's white. It's on white. Yeah. Let's get some more. So now I'm going to leave the grape on there and go with the freesia. Because I don't mind if there's a little mix of color. Oh, yes. Very pretty. And another one. Oh, good. I sometimes forget to do all my checks before I get on. And one of the checks is to make sure my phone is on half volume. And because I've been on the phone for so long today, you gotta love the government. And I wasn't sure what I had done. And we're going to have just enough left to do 2 So Saffron. Okay. So even the saffron, I'm not gonna clean it off. Even the saffron, I'm just gonna let it happen. See how it looks. Gets a little different colored hue to it. I'm good with that. It didn't, but still, that's okay. It doesn't need to. It's quite yellow. And we'll do one more. And let's see, is that stamp over far enough? Sure it is. Sure it is, because I need it to be in the right place for me to get it through the punch anyways. Okay, look at my flowers. They're so pretty. All right, so we'll pull this off. I'll give that a clean in a little while. So now we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 leaves. So I can cut this in half because we don't need a whole sheet of it. We just need some of it. I'll just give that a little cut there. And I think I'm just going to use my blocks to do my leaves, which are in Granny Apple Green. I just thought the brighter green was a good idea. I love Pear Pizzazz, but it's a slightly, I don't know how to describe what it is, but it's not quite as bright as Granny Apple Green. And I thought bright was the answer today. We need bright today. It's really warm here too. I'm just in a t-shirt. I'm actually sweating a little bit. All right, let's see how we do with just stamping them, because sometimes it's just a little bit easier. Yeah, that works great. Yep, that's enough. That's enough. Okay, that worked out pretty good. So now we have some cutting to do. So let's get our, now these are persnickety because it cuts two things at one time. So you want to be careful that you're not cutting off things that you're not meant to be cutting off. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut these just kind of like that. And then we'll see how they fit in. And the best solution, if you can't get it to work just perfectly, sometimes, and that's what I'm going to need to do, I'm going to need to cut off this little bit here. So let me do it on all of them. It's that one little point that doesn't want to fit in the punch. And then because I don't have much of a handle to hang on to put them in the punch, that's where your Post-it notes come in handy. So those are a great thing to keep in your room. So I'm going to grab a little Post-it note here, and I'm just going to stick it on there. See, I'm using it for a handle. And then I can just pop this in here, line it up where I want it to be. I'm not the best at doing this, but I'm doing my best. There you go, pop. So that's one little leaf. And then you can just keep using this, okay? Let's do it again. We're just going to repeat and cut out all these leaves. I love punches. I do. They're just so fun and easy. It's nice to have dies and stuff like that, but to have a punch, you can just pick it up, grab it, and punch stuff to your heart's content, which I really like doing. And you can just use the same piece of Post-it note to do the whole thing, and we might even get to use the same piece to do our, oh yeah, Post-it notes have a large number of uses in stamping. I'll tell you that right now. I have a thing here in my sewing room. It's always here. And then the other Post-it notes I got, which come in handy for maths, I haven't done maths with you yet, but I will, is this one, which has this little edge of gray on the bottom. And what this one is it's the whole piece is sticky, the whole thing. So if you were trying to make like a sun, you could cut a circle out of here, pop this down on your sky, and then it would be down there so solid that then you could use the brush and make a gorgeous sun or moon. I'll do that one of these days, I will, and so you can see just how easy it is to get something that gorgeous with minimal effort. So we've got just about all our leaves done. One more leaf. Oh, little pieces everywhere. Hi, who's here? Someone else is here. Say hello so I know who you are and tell us where you're from. Might be my cousin Ralph again. Oh, there we go. So we got all our leaves. Now, we're going to have to do the same thing. We're going to have to cut off some of the bottom on all our flowers. Otherwise, it won't fit in the punch. So just take off your bottoms. And then we'll punch out some flowers. These are beautiful flowers. Beautiful flowers. All right, so let's see if we can still use our same one. I think we can. Let's pop this in here. See what we're going to get. Oh, I missed one. I missed one there. Another one. Well, I'm certainly getting the mileage out of this Post-it note, aren't I? I guess it's a good stick-em one. I got to remember to buy some more because this is my last package of Post-it notes. Also need to find a pen that doesn't goop and goob all over the place. I have 3 Bic pens, and every single one of them leave big blobs of ink everywhere. So when I was at the drugstore, I thought, oh, well, let's look in the pen section. Get something else. All they carry is Bic. So I'm not impressed. Not impressed. Maybe when I get to Staples, I can get something a little better. Aren't these pretty? I'm excited. I'm excited to make flowers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, good. It wouldn't be the first time I got a piece of paper stuck right in that punch and couldn't get it out. That's when I call for the husband. He's got a lot more patience than I do when it comes to these kinds of things. It's a lot of flowers, isn't it? Wait till you see it. It's going to be so, so pretty. So I don't know how often I'll be able to get on next week. It's going to be a very, very busy week for us. We have company coming on Monday, and then I have a couple of days where I can do lives, of course, but then we have company coming on Thursday, and then more on Monday. So pretty much Easter weekend is going to be, I think, a write-off for me in terms of lives, unless my daughters take naps or something. If my daughters, they're like 40 and 40, 43 and 44, something like that. I can't remember. That's terrible, isn't it? But I can't. If they take naps or something, I'll pop on. But we've got quite a few things planned. We have a kangaroo farm up here in Kelowna. So the tree cutter one, yes, actually, the one that is it the one that just, I'll show you. Is it this one you like, Kim? If that's the one you like, you can let me know. There's quite a few different tree ones, but that particular one is one that I got a lot of use out of at Christmas time, making different variations of plaid trees. Okay, so there's all my goodies. Oh, we're stuck again. There's all my goodies. I'm going to get that out of my way. And then I'm just going to take 1 second to tidy up this mess so that I'm not working in a mess. Well, who am I kidding? I'm always working in a mess, but so that I'm not working in a really big mess. How's that? There we go. Get rid of all my bits. I think I'll even hang on to that Post-it note because I don't know if I'm done with it yet. All right, so what I want to do here is I would like to use this vellum because I think vellum looks so nice on a card front because you've still got the color of the purple, but just not as much. So what I'm going to do here, I think I'm going to take off, I'm going to cut it to my size, less 2 notches. So less 2 notches on the ruler bar. So we're looking at, if it's, we want it to be right side up. So this is going to be at 4 1/4. So I'm going to go to 4 1/4 and back up 2 notches. Okay. And save all these little bits. They're going to come in very handy. Okay, go to 5 1/2 and back up 2 notches, which are actually 16ths, but you know how I roll. Now, I happen to know that the center of this card is not going to show much. You know what? I'm going to take more off than that. I'm going to take another notch off. I just want a little more of that beautiful purple to show. So let's take off another notch. See what that looks like. So remember, you're only taking it off 2 sides. Yeah, so we're going to the kangaroo farm one day, and when we get back from the kangaroo farm, my daughter found a pub here called the Train Station. The notches are at the top. Well, they're at the bottom too, but I only look at the top. So there's a place here called the Train Station where they serve, now this is going to sound funny to y'all, unless you've heard of it. They serve a beer that's made in Sycamoose. No, not Sycamoose, I'm lying. It's Sorrento. It's made in Sorrento. I've actually been to the brewery. It's called Backhand of God, and it's the most delicious beer I've ever had in my life. I would walk a mile for it, or maybe even 5 miles for it. So my daughter Mandy just found out that they have it, so we're going to go there and have a Backhand of God beer. All right, so there's my little piece. Now, I happen to know that the middle of this is going to get covered up. So I can put, to glue this down, because if you glue this vellum, you can see the glue through it. So we don't want that, but I can put a piece down in the middle here. I can put glue down in the middle. I'm actually going to give it one in the center too, just to give it a good coverage. And then I can pop this down here. And you see how you can see my glue strips? Well, you won't be able to. Once I get this card put together, you won't be able to. Okay? So now let's take our white piece and our mini embossing machine. And for this, I'm going to use, oh really, that's where my card retreats are. I'm going to a card retreat in September, and that's where they are. They're in Sorrento. Because my upline, Ange McKay, my fearless leader, she has a house there, so she likes to do them there. So, now, we were talking about plates before, Kim. Here's plate number 1. So this is what they call, well, what do they call it? I forget what they call it. Let's see, does it say on there? The 3D embossing folder. Okay, so there's embossing folders that are quite thin, and then there's 3D embossing folders, which is what this is, and it's quite a bit thicker. They're quite a bit thicker, like this way, they're thicker. So I'm using stripes and splatters, and I think what I'm going to use is the splatters. So I want to put my piece of white in here. My piece of white cardstock, yeah, this way. Put my piece of white in there. Try and even it up, not that it really matters with splatters. And for this one, we're going to put in piece number 1 and piece number 4. And that's what you're meant to use on the 3D embossing folders. Okay. And it might not like it. Yep, there we go. It is a little bit of a push. I have to pull it forward and push it with my boobs. So it is a bit of a push to get those in, but it's worth it. Okay, let's have a look at this. I think it looks pretty darn cool. Let's get that out of the way. Just huck it on the floor with everything else. Look at that. That's really pretty. Can you see that? Just a nice kind of an interesting kind of, this is called splatters. I like the stripes as well, but I just felt like the splatters would be good for today's card. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take our splatters, and this is cut the same size as the full card, and that's what I want, okay? So it's going to exceed the vellum by just a little bit. We're going to take some dimensionals. I got a new pack here. Yes, I have. We're going to take some dimensionals. We're going to pop them onto the back of here. I'm going to say 5, one on each corner, and then 1 in the middle. And you can use either side of the splatters, but I tend to use the side that the Stampin' Up company intended. I'm using the more subtle side. One side's lumpier and one side's more subtle. I'm using the more subtle side. You can use either side that you want to. It just depends on how much of an impact you want to make. So I'm going with subtle. We're just going to pop that down there evenly. I might have to trim a little bit off, but I'll do it after the fact. There we go. Okay, so now the fun begins. We need to get a little sort of long piece of white. We need to give ourselves a couple of stems. So I'm just going to get this one. I think there's 2 stems in the pack, but I really only just need this one. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 1, 2, maybe 3, but I'm not sure yet. So I'll make it for just in casers. All right, now let's get building here. So we're going to start pretty much at the top, and we're going to choose a, let's see, let's get some dimensionals. We're going to need dimensionals. I got them here. I'm going to use the big ones and the little ones. I had a brand new package of dimensionals right here in front of my face. Oh, well, when in doubt, grab another one. Okay, so I'm going to start with a dark purple one. Up here, I got all my bits and pieces up here ready to use. I'm going to start with the dark purple one, and it's going to be fairly high up on the card. So let's go right about here, and let's give him a little bit of a jaunty angle. Okay, just a little bit. And now we're going to take a pink one, and they really only just need 1 dimensional. We're going to do a pink one and put it here. Oops. It helps a lot if you take the stickers off the dimensionals. Keep in mind where your flowers are going so that you're putting your dimensionals in the right place for your flowers to sit nicely, right? So they're not sitting on top of each other and creating too much. Like this one here, I'm going to put the dimensional over to one side so that it's not in the way of the flowers. So this one's going to sit down a little bit more. Okay. And let's see. Let's get these light lavender. Oh, I'm just trying to see what we're working with here. So we've got purple, pink. Okay, we'll have another pink one right about here, and I'm going to put this dimensional right on the bottom of the pink. Okay, the very bottom of the pink, right there, because this one is going to sit here. So it only needs it on the bottom. That's all it needs. Okay. So let's get another of these let's see, what should I do there? Let's have another yellow one. And again, we'll put that one, let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, we'll put that one right about there. So we'll put that on the outer edge of the tulip as well. We don't want it to be, okay, it's starting to look pretty cool, right? And then we've got 3 more, so let's see, what shall we do with these? I think we'll do the purple one in the center portion there. Again, all of these, you're keeping your dimensional low onto the tulip now, okay? Because otherwise they're not gonna stick properly. So there we go. And I want, I guess this one will be next. Down low as well. That actually, let's see. Yeah, we'll, I don't know. We'll do the one more. We'll do the one more. Nice even number of tulips, 2s and 2s, right? Like the arc. Okay. Let's see how that looks. I think that looks pretty cool. Doesn't have to be all perfectly even either. That's the thing with this, you know. So next we're going to take some leaves, and I'm going to use glue for the leaves. I don't need them to pop. I just need them to stick out a little bit. And we're just going to pop those in. Oh, nice timing to act up. Nice timing. Yeah, I got a freeze on my iPad, but that's okay. I can still see it. All right, so we definitely need a leaf right up here. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Let's tuck that guy in there, just wherever you can. Give it a little push. A little push. Let's have another one. No, I'm just putting glue on the tips of the leaves and then shoving them in. That's why you're putting those, that's why you're putting your dimensionals on the bottom part, so that you have room to shove some leaves in there, right? Otherwise, you're just going to have too much. You won't be able to stick them under. You won't be able to push them under like that. Let's keep doing that. I do too, Kim. I really like it when they go over the edge a bit. I just think it looks pretty natural looking, right? And we'll put one more over here, I think. And this one can be like this, and you'll see why in a little bit. You're going to see why that is. I almost feel like I want another one up here, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Put this one over here. Okay, so that looks pretty cool. Now, let's get to the sentiment. So, for the sentiment, we're going to take our rectangle dies. One of my faves. There's so much variation, so much you can do with this. So we're going to do Happy Easter, Happy Spring, Happy Everything. I know I took it out. I should never do that. I should never take it out. I should just wait till it's time to use it. Or is that it right there? Wouldn't that be nice? Yep, that's it right there. I didn't take it out. Good. So what we need here is, I believe, this one. Yes. So we're going to use this one. This one I can put back. See, you've got every conceivable size of these, which is a really good thing, right? It's really good to have lots of them. So let's do this in Gorgeous Grape, because I just think that's the right color. And then I have to do my best at getting it straight, because we're putting the cart before the horse, so to speak here. So what did I do with it? Here it is. Let me just clean that off a little bit. Okay, let's get this on. I just think that's so cute. Happy Easter, Happy Spring, Happy Everything. Okay, so let's give that an inking. And we want to try not to get ink anywhere but on the letters. Let's see how we did. Oh, right side up is better. Not that it matters. I can always turn that piece of paper around, but oh, that looks good. It's not perfectly straight, but guess what? I can work that out with the die. Okay. So we're going to use both of these dies, but we're going to use them a little bit differently. So let's do this one first. Let's get some tape. And we'll line that up as straight as we possibly can. All right, I'll get my machine back here, and we're going to use number 3 and 2 plates. number 3, 1 plate, 2 plates. And there we are. Yeah, purple was the right color. Definitely the right color. All right, and while we have this out, we're going to take this piece of, what did I do with the rest of my piece of purple there? I had it. Oh. Let's see if I've got a little piece I can use here. Yes, I do. So incidentally, Kim, this is how I keep my paper. I have these boxes. They're wooden boxes. They're like wooden crates with handles on them. You can buy them at Michael's. And what I do is, these are freezer bags because they're stronger. And each of my paper colors has its own freezer bag that I can then store in my crates right side up like this. So in the front is the label of the paper. And then any scraps I have, I tuck into the back. So that every time I pull out my gorgeous grape, and I only need a little bit, I can look back here and go, oh yeah, I've got some scraps I can use. And it keeps them nice and separated. Hi Dorothy, nice to see you. Very nice to see you. We're just playing with some tulips. I love these tulips. I'm so sad that they're going, but whatever. It's always, you know, it's sad when they go, but they get replaced by so many new fun things. So I'm excited about that. So we got to take it as it goes. If they never went, we'd never get anything new, right? So we need to get new stuff. We just got to get new stuff. So this one I'm using the slightly larger rectangle, and I'm going to cut this gorgeous grape, which is gorgeous. It's aptly named. And I'm going to take that and that, and I'm going to put these two together. However, I'm not going to leave them quite like that. So let me glue that on. Let me just get that on as straight as I possibly can. Really, I'm only interested in getting the top and the bottom straight, because these pieces, these side pieces are coming off. They're coming right off. So let's just get my piece in there, another piece in here. Boom, there they are. They're gone. Okay? So we're going to do that. Now, I need to fussy cut a stem or two. So bear with me. I'm getting a little faster at fussy cutting, but it's still not my forte. It's just one of those things that you got to keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and then eventually you'll get good at it. At least that's what they tell me. That's what they tell me. It's beautiful and sunny here. I hope this weather stays, because I've got so much company coming soon that it would be so nice if we had nice weather for them, right? These ones at least are pretty quick to fussy cut. I just want a little fine white outline around it. Some people cut right up at the edge. Some people don't care for the white outline at all. I don't really care one way or the other, so I tend to keep the white outline. It's consistent with the flowers, right? The flowers have the white outline, so it's kind of a good idea to keep it consistent throughout the card. If I had fussy cut my flowers and cut all the white off, that would be different. I would do that, but... So there's one. I think we might need 3. I'm just gonna cut them all, and then we'll just see where we are, which is how I like to do things. I'm supposed to get my order on Friday, and I'm so excited. Although I put in a huge order, and already I'm looking at my stuff thinking, oh rats, I should have ordered that. I should have, you know. Usually when I place my order, I will go through all my card stock so that I can look and say, oh, okay, I've only got like 10 pieces left of that color and I use it all the time. I better order another pack. But this time, I think I was just so excited about ordering the new stuff from the catalog. Never even occurred to me to look and see what I'm out of. And I also have a couple of blendables I need to replace that I've kind of used to death, you know. I think 3 stems is good, even though there's a million flowers there. I think 3 stems is quite enough. We just want something green to protrude underneath that, you know, that sentiment, the sentiment. Okay. All right, there we go. Let's get my mess out of the way here. We've got 3 of them. Oh, I moved my mouse again. I keep doing that. If I move my mouse, it makes no difference to you, but I can't see what I'm doing because while I'm talking to you, I'm looking on my laptop just to make sure that I'm in your view properly. Because I have a tendency sometimes to get down here, and then next thing you know, you can't see what I'm doing. And I know that's annoying, and I don't mean to do it, but it just kind of happens. So these stems do have decidedly an up and a down. So this wider part here, that's the part that's meant to go down. So I'm just going to cut these. I can cut them all around the same length. It doesn't really matter. I'll get my other one around the same length, roughly, you know, roughly. And then they're going to pop in here. I think I'm going to use glue for them, just because they're very tiny. And sometimes I like to cut mini dimensionals in half, but I think that's a bit much at this point. If I could hold on to one, that is. They're very tiny. So I'm going to stick one right about there. We're not really concerned with what it's doing up here. We're only concerned with what it's doing down there. So let's give that a little push, a little tiny push. We went out for late lunch today, so there's not going to be any dinner at our house. I went to the worst McDonald's in the world today. I didn't have dinner. That wasn't where we went for lunch. We went to a much nicer place for lunch. But oh my God, this McDonald's needs to be closed down. Yikes. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's the worst McDonald's I've ever been in. And it has AC/DC bathrooms, which I never have liked because men never put the seats down, right? I want to change this a little, so I'm going to pull them off. Sorry, I can be a little fussy sometimes. That one's okay. That one's okay. I'm pulling this one off. I want it to come out of a flower. That's what it is. That's what's bothering me about it. I want it to come out of a flower. So we're going to put this one right about there. And then this one can be coming out of that flower on the other side. Okay, so let's see. Where's our thing? Nope, I don't like this one. I thought I would like it better coming out of the flower, but I think it's better if it comes down like this. I do. Okay, so let's get this onto some dimensionals, because we definitely want to pop it up. I don't know how I do this. I keep getting new packages of dimensionals out and then losing them. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe everybody does it. I'd like to think everybody does it. I really would. I don't like this one. I just don't like it. I still don't like it. So I might have a little goober there, but you know I'm going to hide it, right? Okay, so let's take these off. I am going to put one in the middle because my stems are flat, so it'll be okay that that there's a dimensional on top of them because they are flat. And this is the same width as our white piece here, right? So it kind of works really well there. That's why we cut off that edge there. So now I can take, let's see, oh, what are the perfect jewels for this? We're going to do 2 things actually. We're going to do a little ribbon. I can't decide which one to use. I have two here. Neither of them are in the new catalog, but I think maybe the smaller one might be the answer. So let me get out my bow maker. And this is just a single bow. It's not going to have a ribbon around. It's just a single bow. All right. So let's just bring this around here and around there. And we'll tie a nice and tidy little knot in there, and boom, we're done. Boom, we're done, she says. But I have no nails left, so I'm having a hard time with my fingers these days. I think it's too small. I'm going to do this one, see what it looks like. This is not as hard as I'm making it look. I'm just not very coordinated today, I'm afraid. Nope, I don't like either one of them. All right, so I'm not going to do it that way. Hang on a second. I think I'm just going to go the old-fashioned way. That way I have more variation on how I can do my loops, right? So let's have a look at this. It's definitely not a good bow day, but I need one. I need a bow. I can't get my fingers in there. I don't know why. I don't know why. Okay, that's a little better. So we'll give a tighten, and then we'll draw it back and make it a smaller bow. Let's see. Well, let's see how this looks. I'm not loving it. I'm not loving it. But let's just see how it looks, okay? This needs a little tiny bit of glue under. There we go. See, it's a little too big. I just want to bring it down a little bit, but it's not cooperating all that well with me. I think that's okay. Still don't like my stems, but that's okay. I'm going to go with them. And then for this, we're going to use, I have these little glue dots on here. You can buy these just about anywhere. I think we sell them at Stampin' Up. To be honest, I don't remember. And you just take your item, which is my bow, and you just push it down on a glue dot, just like that, and then pick it up, and the glue dot will come with it. And then it's nicely attached to your little bow there. I like that. Now, guess what else we have? Remember, we used them the other day. Now, I got them out in preparation for this card class, which might not have been the smartest thing. Yep, there they are. These beautiful pearls. These beautiful, beautiful pearls. I've used a lot of both these colors. I haven't used the gorgeous grape yet. And these have carried over. I put red dots on all of the stuff that I own that carries over, because otherwise I can't remember what's carrying over. So these are carrying over, so I'm going to use these gorgeous grape ones because I haven't used them yet. And we'll, let's see. Where's my tool? Where's my tool? Oh, there it is. So let's do a couple of these. I want to do one up here because this space looks a little bare. And then I definitely want to have one on our grating. And maybe one, oh, I did the wrong color. I'm going to take that off. I don't want that color, so I'm taking it off. And I can put it back on the sheet, and I can reuse it. So let's do this. Ooh, it's a slippery little devil. Yes, isn't that pretty? I like it. I still don't like my stems, but it's okay. I might go in and change them before I post this card, and I might not. I mean, you know, it just depends. Depends on how I'm feeling about it. Okay, so then inside we're going to need something, aren't we? Because the inside of this card should have something nice inside. So I'm just going to get a piece of Whisper White here. And I'm going to cut a piece that is, let's see, I think I'll cut it fairly close to the card size. Give it a little room to write a greeting or whatever. You could stick a gift card to it. I'm going to do 5, which is a 1/2 inch smaller than the card base, by 3 3/4, which is a 1/2 inch smaller in the other direction. So there we go. Now, I could have, I didn't, but I could have, just so that you know, there's also these great dies here. So you could choose one of these dies, whichever size works for you. Should we do that? Let's do that, okay? Why not? I'll do a size smaller so I'm not fighting with it. Let's do that. Let's do this here. It's just the right size. So we'll get, thank you, Dorothy. Thank you so much. I'm really enjoying doing these lives. It's just such a great, fun thing to do, and it's like sitting down with some friends in the afternoon, and except of course when I'm, Dorothy, yesterday I was sitting in the hot tub. I did a live at 4 on Tuesday, which I don't normally do, but I did it, and it was fun and everything. And then I'm sitting in the hot tub with my husband, and he said something about the day, and I went, well, what day is it today? And he goes, it's Tuesday. Oh my gosh. I look at the clock on the hot tub, and it's like 7:02, and I'm always live on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock. So, oh my gosh, never seen anyone get out, dry, run upstairs so fast in your life. And I did my live in my bathroom. That's the way it was. That did not cut well. Rats, I think I didn't have it. I'm gonna run it through again because I think I didn't have it quite on there exactly right. And when you do this again, if you need to do it again, you'll notice that when you put the die in, it will fall into the grooves of the, I don't know if you're understanding, but it will fall into the grooves of what you did so that it's very easy. I'm doing another one. I need a little bit smaller. So that was a fast, it was a hot tub haze. Absolutely, it was a hot tub. I'm just sitting there relaxing, had a glass of red wine, and I'm thinking, oh, this is so nice, until my husband told me it's Tuesday. But that's okay. It was fun. It was, I think I was maybe 5 minutes late, if that. And that's okay. It's okay. People are pretty forgiving when it comes to things like that, right? I think when I ran it through the first time, I didn't run it all the way to the very end. So then you get this nice piece. It still didn't. Isn't that the strangest thing? I've never had that happen before. But I can tidy that up. So then you get this nice piece that you can pop inside your card. And if you want to, you could I don't know, you could maybe stamp a, I'm going to take off that little bit there because it's going to bother me. Just with the scissors. There we go. You could stamp something on it, or you could have some kind of a greeting. You could just write on it. You could maybe put some tulips on it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these baby tulips, because I've got a little baby tulip here, and I'm going to do, there's my little guy. Where's my, is that big enough? That's big enough. The itty bitty stamp block. I'm going to take this little tiny stamp block, and I'm going to take, I think, the 2 colors of purple. I think we'll use the 2 colors of purple, if I can find them both. The 2 colors of purple. There they are. Because then when you do one overlapping the other, it won't look strange when they're, you know, they're both purples. If you did purple and yellow, it might look a little weird. But I'll show you one of these days how to use these dies. Like, you don't have to make your die cut the sizes that are in here. I'll show you how you can use these dies and make any size die cut you want to. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. And then you can have any size die cut that you want to have. So I'm going to give myself a purple one first. Just a little something something, right? And then I'll do the lavender. There we go. See? That's pretty. So we'll just pop that on the inside. Then you have a surface to write on, because it's beautiful using your shades for the insides of your cards, but you do want to give them something to write on, because I think write on these dark colors, it never looks very good. I've seen people do it, but it never really looks that good. So there you go. And then if you want to get super duper fancy, then you would also do the tulip stamps on the back or the lower corner of your envelope as well. So you could have matching cards and envelopes, which is also very pretty. Yeah, I'll do the die cut demo tomorrow, and I'll show you how to make different sizes because it's really quite simple to do. But, you know, sometimes you just want to do something, and you can look at this whole card of different sizes, and still the size you need is not there. You know, it's just not there. You need this one, but you need it to be an inch shorter or something like that. And it's quite easy to do. So we'll play with that a little bit tomorrow. I don't know what stamp set I'm going to use tomorrow, but we'll just, you know, I pretty much wing it every time I get on here. I set my time. I put my 30 minutes live thing, and then I come in my room and I just look, and whatever stamp set inspires me, that's the one I'm going to use today. So there it is. I like it. It's pretty, isn't it? There's a nice Easter card for somebody. I don't know who I'm sending Easter cards to, but I'll figure it out. Maybe my friend Susan. My friend celebrates Easter, so that would be good. I am going to change my stems, though. I'm going to take them off. I want them to be more like a bunch. Like, I want these 3 things up here to be closer together. So I am going to change that before I post. So you can watch this live again if you want to. I'm always winging, Kim. It's the way well, you know that about me. It's the way I roll, right? It's always fly by the seat of my pants, pretty much. Maybe I can even add stems instead of moving these. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. I'll add some stems and just make it like a bigger bunch. Because I'm not 100%. I like the rest of the card. I'm just not crazy about the stem arrangement down there. But I'll play with it before I post it. So I will post this later on this evening for you to see. I did case this from Bianca Cervoni on Pinterest. I don't do a lot of casing, but I just found that card so pretty and so colorful. You know, it's just such a nice Easter bright kind of thing, and that's the mood I was in today. So I would love it if you share my video, like my video, and you can also head on over and check out my Stampin' with Casey Instagram page. There's stuff going on there. I will be a part of a large Instagram hop coming up, and I'll let you know about that a little sooner to the date, and then you can have a look at a whole bunch of us that do specific things on Instagram. It's a bit of a challenge. We have a certain criteria that we go by, and then everybody makes a card, and we all post it on Instagram, and it's called an Insta hop. So, as you know, probably heard of a blog hop. Well, this is an Insta hop. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you. What day is it today? Today is Wednesday, so I will see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock. I hope you'll come back and join me, and let's see what kind of trouble I can get into tomorrow. I'll probably make a bigger mess. This is such a mess, right? This is how I roll. This is a mess. I should take a picture of before and after and post those. Before live, after live, because it's pretty comical. All right then. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here.